200,000 channel points. Oh boy, oh boy. Oh boy, oh boy. I really do need to figure out, we need to put like a sync in for something. Oh, disconnected. Nope. Denied. Right, today is the first time I'm going to try and actually test to see just how long it takes to blast through like 18 teams here. Casual, 455. Boys and girls, I'm so sorry. I really need to come up with something. For starters, let me clarify. If you've got even anywhere near that, you're an absolute legend, by the way. Thank you very much for sticking around with all of our shenanigans over the years. I've got 18 teams pretty much fully set up now. And hopefully, we can see what happens when we try and blast through them. Coffee is cooking. We haven't really got anything on the auction house by the looks of things. I'm in a interesting scenario where I've actually sold most of my Mechanica stuff. Now, of course, I didn't sell it for a huge amount, but we sold it all the same. Did I just click skip about 5 times then? I did, didn't I? Let's try that again. 1.4 million coffee beans? Oh dear. Oh dear. Just think of the pets. Think of the poor pets. Think how many pets they could delete. Yeah, I think I've only got 2 Mechanica pets left. We've sold everything else. I've got one that's going in at 425, which is still on the cheap end. And that's it. Where's it? Is that it? Have I got 1 Mechanica pet left? Oh dear. We absolutely need to be farming more of these. I was talking about this yesterday with K-Chak in his stream. That it's... if you're selling your Mechanica pets and mounts anywhere near what the region minimum price is right now, not only are they going to sell very quickly, but you're also going to sell them significantly faster than you can physically get them, which is, in a way, kind of shooting yourself in the foot, to be fair. Because you could sell them more slowly for a higher price and not run out of stock. It's like if the Apple Store sold iPhones for like 400 euros, you know they'd sell out by the end of the day, and then they'd have the rest of the week with nothing to sell. I also got a request yesterday to turn down the noise of the chickens. I hope I have managed to turn down the noise of the chickens as well, by the way, so that they're not too loud. Swigs. Swigs gets priority. Give me a Swigs group. Start with the most important one. Legion Master of All, finally. Oh, you got your world quest done. GG. I would actually go as far as to say then, you've probably made more progress with professions than I have, because I'm pretty sure there is still some stuff from Legion that I am yet to hit 100 skill in. So fair play. That's good effort. Good effort. Tally's apparently up as well. Oh, Tally was up. Tally's dead. Tally down. Tally's up here, apparently. No, that didn't faze me. What's going on here, then? What's going on here? These are all rares I don't particularly care for. I think 54, 53, 1163, 59. Some very low numbers on the shard IDs here. Very low numbers. Are they all on they are all on separate places. Get off my 53. Confrère du Thorium. Wherever the hell that is, that's got to be some French RP realm, right? Surely. It's got to be some French realm. Was waiting 3 days for that world quest to spawn. I mean, to even get it like that quickly is good effort. Why is nothing turning up ever? 5 realms, nothing happening. Galagio. Where's Galagio? Woo, I didn't get a chance to look at that add-on yet. But I'm sensing that will become important when we open mailboxes next. So I will absolutely have a little look at that. Some suggestions how to make the gold guide better if you're thinking about doing another one for the next expansion. 1 crafting sheet. Yes. Top of my list is to do something along those lines. It was a monumental. I tried something new and I shouldn't have, is the reality. I know they take a lot of time to make, but shuffling calculations, all that good shit too. I don't remember if you have the calculations for multi-craft and resourcefulness, but that could definitely be something to throw in there as well. Just suggestions off the top of my head. Yeah, without doubt, there is I took a bit of a gamble this expansion, focusing on a written guide. And I also took the decision to try and keep the written guide as novice friendly as possible. But in doing so, I think I alienated quite a lot of what you guys expect from me, which is a little bit more of the nitty-gritty, fine dining details, which will probably mean that my approach for Midnight will be very different, yes. But yeah, that's some good feedback, thank you. I'm absolutely thinking along the same lines anyway. Tough balance, approachable for novices, but interesting for experts. Yeah, it is problematic. I'm also considering doing it in a very different format. Because one of the bits of feedback, which is quite rightly so, was that because I tried to put so much detail in the guide, it ended up being quite literally hundreds of pages long, which... whilst I think I paged it, structured it in an organised fashion, at least I believe I did. If you didn't magically find the button that, for example, if you didn't manage to stumble across the button that lets you, hang on. If you weren't viewing it with this, oh my god, flashbang, I'm sorry. Obviously, down the side, I've got it like nice and neat and tidy and organized and whatever. But if you, for whatever reason, didn't click on this little button at the top here, and you were just trying to navigate it to try and read, yeah, without question, it was like, oh, well, where do I find shit? I mean, to be fair, that one button fixes all of your problems, but it ultimately meant that, like, navigation and finding what it is you wanted to find was a little bit difficult to do in a document that ended up being... The base document is like 50 pages long, and then that's before you take into consideration all the sub guides for the different professions. So yeah, I'm very aware that having it all in. Well, this is one aspect that I changed not too long ago, splitting the actual profession guides into their own dedicated documents for easier navigation. But I think next time round we will have to approach it from a different angle. I'm actually thinking that like a web-based format might be the most convenient, because then those who have it have access to it, and it's literally just a web address, boom. And of course on a web page I can make navigation significantly more straightforward. It's the only problem is I have not done any form of like web designy stuff for best part of a decade at this point, so maybe we'll just get a Squarespace website made or something for it. Maybe we'll go that approach. Where's Tally then? Tally is not on any realm. That spawns garbage though. We'll have some of that. It did spawn garbage. That means we will have some of that. Is Goblin Town the final raid of the expansion? Probably not, no. There will be a new raid in Season 3. We are yet to find details of that yet. We're working towards 11.1.7 sort of stuff now. But 11.2 will bring a new season and a new raid with it. And start to close off the expansion at that point, as it will be the final major season of the patch. Of the expansion, sorry. Or at least as we are led to believe anyway. We are led to believe that they are not going to attempt even to do like a big season 4 thing. In previous expansions we've had like these fated seasons at the end, which were like a bit trashed here, honestly. Most people saw through them for being just a rehash and a keep people busy sort of mode, which is not to everybody's liking. So I think they're going to power through with Season 3 will being the last major season. Then maybe we might have a slightly longer than normal pre-patch season where they presumably are going to release player housing. What are we farming here? Mechanicas, miscellaneous Mechanicas. Miscellaneous Mechanicas, which are then converted into a bunch of different pets and mounts. These are where's my miscellaneous Mechanica? These are miscellaneous Mechanica. They're warbound items, so you can farm them on all of your characters. But the pets and mounts are after, or miscellaneous Mechanica, should I say, go into creating these pets and mounts. And I'm at the point now, I'm not quite at my final form yet, I'm at the point now where a daily blast of Mechanicas should net me somewhere in the region of about 5 Mechanica a day, which is enough for 1 pet a day. So you can see that one of these pets is like a few 100,000 gold. I can get one of these a day roughly, and it takes me a couple of hours to do it. Is where we stand right now. Is there a good sale rate? I can sell them faster than I can make them. I've sold, I think, 3 mounts, 3 pets in the last few days. So, yes. Right, there's that team done. Log these fellas out. That was a very, very slow first team. I was also introing and getting into the stream. Wait, you're actually turning a profit? I've spent quite a bit of gold to get this operation up and running, so I'm not yet actually in profit. But obviously, soon as the expenditure disappears, which it nearly entirely has now, all it's costing me is, you know, the monthly subs for the accounts. I knew the second they implemented Fated Seasons in Shadowlands, they were going to do it again. And, oh my god, I'm a genius. In Shadowlands, it was either a Fated Season or nothing, but in Dragonflight, it was just laziness. Yeah, they've milked that cow too hard now. People are not so you know, we accepted a Fated Season to begin with because they were like, oh, COVID, work from home, oh, boo-hoo, like, oh, everybody that works for Blizzard is actually a sexual predator. Oh, you know, they had the whole shenanigans going on that caused chaos for a little while. So we accepted, like, they had to just hack together something, didn't really have anything planned yet. 3 expansions in a row now. We're like, you're taking the piss now, aren't you, Blizzard? So I think it is a safer option for them to just go, you know what? We're not going to do that this time. We're just going to roll into the next expansion. No, the mounts are significantly more expensive. The mounts take 25 miscellaneous Mechanica, so I can't make a mount every day, no. But it's still a couple 100,000 gold an hour in value easily. Nitro and Thwack are the only ones we need, so let's lurk over this side of the world. Can you get 5 tunes in a car? No, only 3. You'll notice that the 4 bonus accounts around the edge here, ignore this one in the corner behind my camera, the 4 bonus accounts around the edge, they just kind of live, they chill in the hotel. This is utilizing one of the rules in the game, whereas if somebody kills something in a party, everybody in that party qualifies for loot, even if they don't necessarily tag the mob in question. As long as they are close enough to the kill, they qualify for loot. And because the items we're farming are rare items, well, not even necessarily because they're rare items, but the way that the game works is that if you don't loot a mob, it will send what was on that mob's corpse to you in the mailbox. So once every few days, these characters, who are just like chilling in the hotel, will have a mailbox full of goodies, and they can empty their mailboxes, and, you know, I can transfer the Mechanicas from them to my main character, who then goes and spends them, and then we sell them. And so on and so on. Nitro's been dead for a while. Slugger, we actually do need a Slugger kill on this team. Slugger's a weekly rare rather than a daily, so oh, there was a Slugger up on this shard. You dead. You dead. Yeah, there's no, as long as the other members of your party are in close proximity to where the kill happens, they qualify for loot, and it will go to the mailbox if they don't loot it. slug is dead there as well. Who do we need after this? Nitro, if we can get our hands on Nitro. Is he up on this realm, or do we need to fish for him? Fishing for a puppy. Welcome in, K-Chak. Big day for you today. I hear you've got front page on Twitch and you've got your big bonus giveaway stream today. I have my 1 ticket in hand. I'm guaranteed to win. I really hope I don't, because I can't really afford a plane ticket to the UK at the moment. Right, while we're waiting for Nitro, I can get my coffee so I can stop drinking this stinky water. Ugh, water in the morning. Jesus. We've got some proper drink on the go. Right, the fact that Nitro's lying dead on the floor next to me is really frustrating. It's tempting just to leave him. We'll come back and get Nitro later. We can sacrifice a Nitro kill. In the name of progress. Lovely clean Finnish water. We talked about this yesterday. And now it's stinky. I have expensive tastes. I can't help it. Swigs. You've got swigs up. If we've got swigs, we take swigs. Get off my swigs. Get off my land. Maybe we could crowdfund you a place ticket. No. How many Mechanicas overall do you need to complete your pet and mount collection from the zone? If you were doing it entirely solo, you need 113. 113 to get one of everything. 25 for the 3 different mounts. And then there's 4 pets that cost 5 each. 1 pet that costs 8 and 1 pet that costs 10. How close am I to 113? Well, I've had enough Mechanicas to have bought everything, but I am not learning them myself right now. Later on in the days, weeks, months and years, when they stop selling for such a ridiculously high price, I might stop selling them. And then I might start learning them myself. They're far too valuable right now. Far too valuable to not sell. We tally or Nitro? Neither tally or Nitro seems to be available. He has to move back to Helsinki for some good water, apparently. How much gold is a plane ticket? Yeah, if only we could buy plane tickets with gold, it would make travelling to LFG much cheaper an opportunity. Honestly, it's not even necessarily the flights that are expensive. It's flipping hotels. Hotels take the piss. I just need to find somebody's sofa to crash on. Proper old school it. Maybe next year. Maybe next year. I'll make an extra special effort for K-Chat Con. Or we'll call it Goblicon or something. Right, is that the team? No, Tally still. Oh, try and call that water when me coffee tastes funny. I know that's not how it works, but... yeah, the Goblin Con. As if we've already got a bad enough reputation. Last thing we need is the word con to be anywhere near anything that we do. Goblin scam. Goblicon. Too busy to farm mounts for myself. Cough, cough. Alistraza to farm and sell them. Yeah, that fiery chicken's cool, though. I've not really target farmed many mounts, ever, particularly. But that is one I, years and years and years ago now, made sure that I have in my collection, because it's just super cool. The 1 million Goblin Festival. You could have Goblicon and you get free entry if you've got over 100 million gold in game. Swigs, Tally, and Thwack is potentially up on this realm. If we're really lucky. Nope. Nope. Okay, they must have been on the realms. The home realms. Tally's on this one.
Hey, there's loads of scrap ripe for the picking in the heaps. Go in there and grab some, will ya?
No, Ratleys. We're not doing that. I'm guessing you're oblivious to the book festival called 1 Million Lives or something. Oh. Yeah, very oblivious. I'm not a bookworm. I can count the amount of books I've read in my entire life on one hand, and 4 of those have probably been instruction manuals, which probably don't count as books. Because yes, from time to time, I am a man and I do read an instruction manual. Sod off. Nitro and Thwack. I should have been going to LFG this year, but the wife decided to book a holiday to Greece for the Monday. Oh dear. Oh dear. What a shame. Oh no. Must go on a holiday to Greece. Oh dear. No need to be a bookworm. It's a bit viral in certain social media algorithms. So what was it? Big promises, but then like 80 people turned up. Oh. Yeah, that was when Mr. GM first did LFG. I think this is the second year it's been on, isn't it? So when he did it last year, that was his biggest concern, that he was going to put all this time and effort into setting up an event, and then 4 people would turn up. But I think I don't think Mr. GM quite realizes how big of a creator he is these days. I was telling him years ago he's going to overtake Bellula soon. I told him by midnight he'll get more views than Bellula will on an average video, and I think he's probably going to absolutely smash that out of the park. I'm happy for the lad, very much so. Not that I'm wishing on Bellula's downfall, but Bellula over the years has just... he's served his time. There was 80 wardens and guides. There wasn't actually any customers. Oh dear. Real men don't read the manual, they use a hammer. But when putting up a chandelier, that's dangerous, right? No, I get your point, you're right. You're spot on. My real man points go in the bin when it comes to DIY. Is this... have we stumbled upon a golden shard? Are we on a golden shard? Oh, I'm still in combat with this stupid thing. Ah, flipping hell. AoE too strong.
Go in there and grab some, will ya?
I love Bellula. It's nice to see an abstract thinker voicing his opinions. Oh, I have nothing against the guy as a person. I'm sure I've never met him personally, but I'm sure he's absolutely lovely. I just have over the years become immune to his hyper over dramatized content on YouTube, unfortunately. Of that, it's either one end of the scale or the other with him. That either it's the best thing since sliced bread, or the world is, you know, or the world is falling. I unfortunately find a little bit more entertainment value in something a little bit more nuanced. Maybe, like I said, it's probably just me. It's probably just me. But his coverage of WoW content over the years has been... It is played into the algorithm a little bit too much. For me, personally. Now, of course, there's one thing having an embellished thumbnail and title, but if then the content within that video is also massively overemphasized, I feel a lot of times it's it just doesn't work for me. Like I said, nothing personal against the guy in any way, shape, or form. But yeah, you're right. I mean, that to some degree is kind of just how the news works these days, isn't it? Maybe that's also why I don't actually pay too much attention to mainstream news either. But it's why he has 600k subs, extremes. Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, you don't, like I said, he's playing the game. Don't hate the player, hate the game. My point with all of this is that somebody like Mr. GM, I much prefer Dan's take on informative content. I do think Mr. GM could do a little bit more to inject a little bit more of his own personality and his own opinion into things. He shares that more so on his stream, but it never really makes it too much into his videos. But that makes his overview videos of content very easy to watch, and that it's straightforward, to the point, not overly opinionated on whether he thinks something is good or thinks something is bad. Lets his audience sort of come to that conclusion themselves. I like that. I like that approach. How has this dude killed some of the... Oh, I've swapped some of my teams around, isn't it? That's why. This dude wasn't naturally in the same team. Also makes him more likely to get involvement with Blizzard. Yeah, because he reports stuff in a relatively neutral light. Signs of Kalani does the same, obviously. Who else do we need after this? Swigs and Nitro. Swigs being the most important. Slugger's up on one realm. I do need a slugger kill on this dude, but not on any of the others. Kalani does a little too many buffs and nerfs videos for me. Also, when you log on to his stream, he doesn't welcome you with his trademark greeting. It's good branding, though, eh? It's good branding. Hey, folks, this is Kalani. Yeah. Solid branding. Can't deny it. Come on, Swigs. You've got to be up on somewhere. Are we on different shards here? All of these shard numbers look to be different. So we should all be on different realms. There's a Swigs realm. Oh, flipping hell. Absolutely murdered. Okay, sure. We missed that one. I don't mind skipping Nitro occasionally, but I can't skip Swigs. Skipping Swigs is against the law. There's the Swigs. Yeah, I can't do accents, so... Otherwise, I would try and do it in his accent. Okay, just Nitro to go.
Hey, there's loads of scrap ripe for the picking in the heaps. Go in there and grab some, will ya?
Oh, this is quite fast though when you can hoppity skippity about places. I like the fact that, I mean, we are occasionally having to wait a minute or two maybe for a rare to spawn, but realistically it's rarely more than that. And like I said, long term, my goal with this really is to have all of these spare toons doing the cross-realm flipping stuff. Like in this downtime while I'm waiting for a rare to spawn, hop on a long boy, empty a mailbox, do a repost, maybe if there's time a quick snipe scan, and then be on your way sort of thing. You could have 4 sniper scans running, or shopping scans, or whatever you want to call them. You could have 4 scans running whilst you're hopping between realms. That garbage is actually close enough to get as well, if I can get there in time now. No, he's dead. Too slow. About ready to skip Nitro again though, to be honest. If we can get 3 out of the 4, skipping Nitro on our first pass of toons is probably not the worst. Give it 30 seconds. Nitro's been dead on this realm 12 minutes ago. This realm 7 minutes ago. No data on Nitro on this realm. No data on Nitro on this realm. So it's not going to spawn on at least 2 of these. Yeah, maybe we just skip Nitro. We'll come back next team. Ha! Nitro first thing. Right, well, let's get Nitro out of the way, shall we? No, we're going here. We're going here. Swigs, Nitro, and Thwack. Swigs half dead. Technically Sal over here as well. Right, well, let's get the Nitro, because you've been a pain in my ass the last couple of times.
There's loads of scrap ripe for the picking in the heaps. Go in there and grab some, will ya? You're pretty world-wise, ain't ya? I got a mook inspector that could use the help of someone with brains. Go talk to him?
Is Thwack still alive? Still alive. 3 for 3 so far. Can't imagine Tally is actually up. My little my little add-on, sorry, is sort of indicating that Tally's up though. And the minimap seems to indicate the same as well. If we're lucky, we get 4 for 4 on this shard. A couple of golden shards every day. Love that. Does kind of make me think I should use these ones too, when this opportunity presents itself, to maybe do a world tour. Because there's a likelihood that on this realm, most if not all of the rares are up. But for now, at least, I'm going to take the advantage of getting 4 rare kills in about 4 minutes and move on. I don't have too much need to level too many more characters at this point. I'm about 3, maybe 4 teams away from having a character on every realm in the EU, which was goal number 1. Then I want to just add a few more teams to get to the total 25 teams. Nice round numbers. 25 teams makes the maths work. Kind of nice. 25 times 4 is 100. Times 4 rares is 400. That's 400 rare kills a day. Before or after any extracurricular ones. Any bonuses. 400 rare kills a day. In theory, even with a 2% average drop rate, is what, 8 Mechanica a day by mathematical averages. Now, I don't necessarily do this every day. I probably only do this 5 out of 7 days a week, but that would still mean 8 Mechanicas a day, 5 days a week, 40 Mechanicas a week, bare minimum. Oh, flipping Nitro, you're the bane of my life. Either he doesn't spawn or I get there 3 seconds too late. I need Nitro or I need Thwack. Sounds too much like work. Well, it's quick and easy. Like, considering the fact that some people will get into the routine of starting their day with an hour of herbing and mining, and they start their day with an hour of herbing and mining, and they sell their herbs and ore, and they get like 20k from it. If I can start my day doing an hour or so of rare killing, yeah, instead of making 20k, make 200k. I'm quite content with that, really. 10x the results. Sure, I have 5 times the cost, but it also presents me with the ability to do many other things as well. Start the day with 6 hours of work orders and concentration crafting. Yeah, it could be worse, right? Absolutely could be worse. Woo. Bit of thwack action. Those two on the same shard. Yeah, they are. That's why. Yeah, my theory was that if I'm going to level all of these characters and I'm going to scale this up and I'm going to build this out, then... Because, let's not forget, I could quite easily, over a period of time, also put a concentration crafting... I could level enchanting on all 100 of these characters as well if I wanted to. As well as doing this. So you could wombo combo it, you know. Couple of days of the week you fly around, you kill all the rares. On the third day of the week, you, in addition to killing all of the rares, craft a bunch of enchants. You know, and then on every 48 hours, you've then got a character on every realm in the EU to do cross-realm trading. You're literally ticking all of the big goal-making boxes with like the same-ish setup. Is the theory. That's what I'm aiming for anyway. Oh, I needed to... Sat in a group when I shouldn't be. I need nitro. Nitro. No, somebody's pew-pewing him. Tag him. Oh, I think I got the tag. There we go, we did. Right, is that everybody? That's everybody. So, in a way, we will be able to take advantage, you know, we'll have our fingers in many pies. We'll be able to take advantage of a few of the more popular, more lucrative goal-making methods. And splitting it all up a little bit will hopefully make sure that not one single activity gets so monotonous that it just burns you to a crisp. And if one starts being less lucrative than the other, you can just switch your focus to just the other, the one that is making money, you know. Swigs, we take swigs. I have a feeling my wife's just got home, so I might have to take a quick break in 2 seconds to say hi. How would you do the material management? Just keep a stockpile on every character, old school way, pre-war bank. Probably, yeah. Probably. There's, yeah, that's a very good question actually for the concentration crafting. Yeah, that would get a bit frustrating with mats, but if they are. It adds a step or two to the process, but they could just be responsible for buying their own mats when they need their own mats, for example. In that way, because if they're going to be doing auction housey stuff anyway, they can all be responsible for buying their own mats and selling their own enchants. Meaning I can sort of circumvent the warband issue. Maybe, possibly. How do I update my weak auras? Manually. I don't use I don't use the Wago tool anymore. It was causing issues with other add-ons. Aha! I was not incorrect. That was the wife. Give me 2 minutes, boys and girls. Okay, right, we're good. We're good. Thwack. Perfect timing. Go, gadget, go. Love the warband bank now. I get so lost on the second account if it's not available. Literally, my number one most highest requested feature at this point is probably make the warband bank work like a guild bank. Even if it means they have to slow it down in terms of transferring stuff in and taking stuff out. Slow it down. Put a 2-second delay. Put a 2-second lag on it, like they do on the guild bank, to run all of the verification, anti-dupe stuff. But let me use my war bank on every character. That has to be a high priority update for the war bank, really, doesn't it? That and get rid of work orders. Tally and Nitro. It's horrible not being able to craft with 2 accounts at once. Yeah, you just have to have the mats on hand. How's that going to work when you have multiple characters' accounts crafting at once? I don't know. I ain't the software dev. I don't know. Nothing, like, I live by the law that nothing is impossible in software. It just requires somebody to create a solution. This is why they should pay people the big bucks. You could easily run into an issue where 2 accounts are trying to craft from materials in the war bank. Oh, I'm sure you can. I'm sure you could. I'm absolutely sure you could. But I equally, at the same time, expect Blizzard have the money pit that is capable of hiring the people that can fix that problem. I mean, we do meme, but they aren't actually a multi-dollar company. They should have deep enough pockets to fix these systematic problems. But, unfortunately, without me going too deep into Rantheus mode, they don't really do much that is specifically for the benefit of the player unless it also specifically benefits them. And unfortunately, an update of that nature probably doesn't benefit them in any way, shape or form particularly. Most due to the fact that it's probably quite a niche issue, that I can't imagine there is that higher percentage of the player base that would actually ever need or use that. So there's inherent issues there. But like I said, whatever tech they use for the guild bank, just use that. And then just crowbar in the ability to pull materials out of it. I don't know. Easier said than done, I'm aware, but it's not my job. My job is to say what I want and then to criticise them when they don't do it. It's a hard problem with 20 years of spaghetti. Yeah. They're big, clever people. They're big, clever people. Have faith in them. It's not my job to give them excuses why they can't do something. That's their job. This is why I think I would be a bit of an ass of a project manager, because I wouldn't accept no for an answer. No. This is what we need to do. All I want to know is how long is it going to take you to do it and how much is it roughly going to cost to do it. They're the 2 things I need to know. There has to be a solution, so find it. This is why I work for myself. The irony is all of you lot are my boss, technically. And it'll be... I will end up in the same category as most content creators. My career will end when I do or say something stupid. Two hardest questions for any engineer to answer. If I was Blizzard, though, you would be able to basically say, I don't care how long it takes you to do it. I don't really care how much money it costs to do it. Go and do it. Like, Blizzard are one of the only companies out there that have the ability to throw money around to solve these problems. This is what innovative companies do. They find solutions to shit that other people have decided is not worth doing or is too hard to do. It's what makes a good company a good company. If all you care about is profit, you'll end up being like every other schmuck of a business. It's what made Tesla impressive. It's not Elon's, you know, Elon doesn't have particularly very many great traits about him. But one of the traits he clearly does have, in the stories that you hear coming out from his management style, is that he doesn't accept no for an answer. When the richest man on the planet is telling you that he doesn't care what needs to happen to make something happen, you know that it kind of just has to happen. I don't know how true this is, but I heard when he took over Twitter, that Twitter had like a 3-level redundancy system on their servers, and he deemed that to be too much. And in essence turned around and said, right, we need to switch off one of these server farms. And people were like, oh, well, to do it properly, it'll take like 6 months to, you know, do X, Y, and Z. And he said, no. Do it now. And in essence, it ended up being he just went to the server farm with a team of engineers and started cutting cables and turned the servers off that way. And hey presto, it was done very, very quickly. It's a very brute force, very disgusting way of doing things. But it also works.
Hey, there's loads of scrap ripe for the picking in the heaps.
Like I said, he's not he's got his quirks, it has to be said. But he's not a complete lunatic at business. It's known as the scream test. Start turning shit off until somebody screams. Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. That's quite funny. Until somebody screams, no! Don't flick that switch. Just got a whisper from a guy who found me by using Craft Scan. It's new. I didn't know they can find me as a crafter using the add-on. Yeah, if somebody is using Craft Scan themselves and they go to the crafting order station, it will show you a list of people who are online that have access to craft what you want. It needs those people to be using Craft Scan themselves, as well as you also using Craft Scan. It will like say this person can craft it, or this person's alt can craft it. It's been a feature since pretty much day one. This is why, unfortunately, CraftScan built itself a slightly negative reputation for itself, because some people out there are insistent that the add-on is basically a bot and it's against TOS because it auto-whispers people and all this sort of rubbish. All of it's complete bullshit. It's just there's lots of people that are very fast at clicking a button. But that negativity that it got quite quickly has, in essence, meant that it's kind of meant. Is there a nuke going off? No, the white balance goes flipping haywire, by the way, when the sun comes out. Yeah, I'm not living in Fallout. It's fine. But if CraftScan had put like a 2 or 3 second deliberate delay or made the process of whispering somebody else a little bit less effective, they probably would have, the add-on would probably have been far more widely accepted. And then a feature just like that, where when somebody goes to order something, it shows who's online and you can get whispered directly. Can you, somebody saying in essence, can you craft this for me? I mean, that's the crafter dream, right? That your customers come to you. Yeah, the white balance on my camera goes bananas. I have it set on manual mode. I'm just not used to the sun shining quite so brightly through the window. So if you bought WoW, he'd basically say delete everything after Cataclysm or something and it would happen. Well, let's hope not, but... Right, we're lurking for far too long to kill Tally. We'll move on. We'll find another team. Says every bit ever not used to the sun shining, yeah. Although, come Saturday, I know we're only on Thursday now, but by Saturday, we get our first official t-shirt weather day. It's going to hit 12 degrees on Saturday. It means the shorts come out. It means it's officially t-shirt weather. Yeah, maybe the nuke in the background is actually going off to delete all the snow. Force spring to turn up. And then in about 2 months it starts getting darker again. Well, yeah, true. Once we hit midsummer. Does it still look as ridiculous in this mode? It literally does look like a nuke's coming through my window. Whoops. I need a shave. Jesus, I'm a mess. Never go full screen. I think the UK weather thinks it's autumn already. Well, didn't you have a heat wave like last week? In fact, you went off to you literally went to Africa, came back, and the UK was having a heat wave. Surely the frustration of spending thousands of pounds to go on holiday to a hot place and then the hot place comes to you is... Surely that's got to grate on you a little bit. That would grind my gears for sure. Are we dealing with... We're not dealing with shard problems here. We're just dealing with slow-ass rares. Yeah, it's a bit of a running joke, but one of my favourite English jokes is I really like summer. It's my favourite day of the year. because some years it's really quite true. My one of my favourite things about moving to Finland is that as a country, yes, it has pretty extreme winters, but it also simultaneously also has relatively defined seasons. Finland has a spring, albeit usually quite quick, but it definitely has spring. It definitely has autumn. And then there's usually a month or two where it's nicely warm. Not like going to cook you to a crisp hot, but just nicely warm. Like defined seasons that you can kind of rely on. Whereas in the UK, it can be 30 degrees, but you still worry about, should I take wellies and a thick pair of clothes just in case winter turns up by the afternoon? Whereas at least in Finland, when it is summer, it's summer, and when it's winter, it's winter. There does come a point where you can like put your winter coat away and put the winter boots away and know that you probably won't need them again for a good couple of months, which you can never say in the UK. In the Netherlands, it's totally possible to go through all seasons in one day. Yeah, I've experienced that before. Last week we had 2 days at 28 degrees and now we're getting 13. You just got to live on the equator where it's literally the same temperature every day, all year round. Sounds like Melbourne, quite literally 4 seasons in a day. Melbourne? Australia? You kidding me? What, do you have hot, slightly hotter, not quite as hot, and hot with a breeze? Surely that's the 4 seasons in Australia, right? Hot with spiders, hot without spiders. I don't know, very stereotypical, I apologise. Right, I need a nitro kill. I need nitro and thwack. Where's nitro, where's thwack? Don't fail me here, game. We're meant to be on a blast here. Had a barbecue at the weekend, blazing hot, sun shining. We were looking for cover, sunscreen. By the time the food was done cooking on the grill, we were looking for jackets and blankets because the sun had gone away and the temperature dropped by 10 degrees. Oh dear. Who doesn't love a bit of global warming? Which is the most misrepresented... Oh, we missed it. Fucking hell. The most misrepresented phrase ever. Like, I much prefer climate change as a phrase, because global warming is very misleading. Yes, the globe is getting warmer, and so you get colder. Oh, great. Thanks for that. Love that. Right, I can't miss 2. I can't miss nitro and thwack. Just missing the kill is annoyed. Nitro, go. No messing. No messing. Summer can go from 40 degrees to wet and 5-degree storms. Yeah, that's pretty wild, actually. I'll give you that. We'll call that hot with a breeze season, shall we? Hot with spiders, hot with a breeze, and hot with storms. Who's left? Thwack, apparently. Oh, Thwack, go. Give it an update. Alright, between teams, I'll give this little Weaker an update. If I update it and it extracts all my gold from all my characters and randomly transfers it to 14 different characters, all with funny letters in their names, I'm going to be mighty annoyed with you, Mr. Loot Fever. I will have been played like a fiddle. What changed? Other than it now has a... Okay. Maybe I want it up here. No, it's going to get in the way of my buffs. Maybe I want it here. Maybe I want it there. That's a nice spot for it. Nothing else going on there. How's that? There, now we're cooking. Now we're cooking. These are not meant to have the flipping time and clock and stuff on them anyway. Beautiful. Lovely stuff. Oh, it's got a few custom options. I didn't even look at the custom options. Show the text, add a line break after current realm. I quite like that, as it's a strong indication to anybody looking what it means. Good stuff, my man. Appreciate that. Thank you. Right, is this team done? Nitro, Swigs, Tally and Thwack? Yes. Log these fellas off then. That should also save the settings, hopefully. Not that I have too much need for it on this server, but I will have it just in case. Oh, that's a good shard. Is that an everybody shard? If there's a Swigs standing here, it's an everybody shard. It's not quite an everybody shard. If the Gulf Stream stops, we're all screwed in Northern Europe. For a British person, where it is actually the law for us to talk about the weather on at least a daily basis, or our legs fall off, I have no idea what the Gulf Stream is. Is that the Gulf of America, right? Sorry, that's me poking the political bear. I won't do that again. Nitro and swigs. Nitro and swigs. Anywhere with nitro, somewhere with nitro and swigs? Can it be?
Yeah, there's loads of scrap right for the picking in the heaps. Go in there and grab some, will
Oh
ya?
shit, somebody's just killed swigs. Should have definitely gone for swigs and not nitro.
You're pretty
What a
worldwide, ain't
donut.
ya? I got a mook inspector that could use the help of someone with brains. Go
Alright.
talk to him?
We're going to have to camp out a swigs kill then. I have noticed in the last few days of like more aggressively doing this farm that I feel as if I'm in the same sort of league as people who like do Mythic Plus on stream. I'm so cautiously looking and trying to quickly react to things happening on 5 accounts right now. I don't have enough time. My eyes don't stretch far enough to also read the chat quite as quickly. I start to feel like those Mythic Plus streamers who take 12 minutes to read their chat. And I feel bad. I will promise to get better at it. Keeps Europe warm. It would be basically covered in ice if it stopped. Oh, okay. I mean, that sounds like about 9 months of my year anyway. But yeah, if it was 12 months of the year, I would not like that. Let's keep the golf doing golf things. Drags warm water from the Caribbean to the northern part of Europe, which heats up the whole of northern Europe by like 5 degrees. Oh, okay. How do you get the shared ID menu to show? I have no idea. It showed by default for me. No idea. All the settings seem to be more specific to the individual zones than it does. Yeah, I don't know. I think it showed as default for me. For me, it was actually one of the main reasons I wanted it, for the shard ID. Actually, it's not Rare Tracker Core. This is an extension of Rare Tracker Core, I believe. Rare Tracker Core is one of the modules you need. Where is it? Yeah, you want the base Rare Tracker. Rare Tracker Core is a part of it, but then you probably want like Rare Tracker. I just clicked all the buttons, but like the War Within is probably the one you want as well. Rare Tracker Core, and Rare Tracker the War Within. Make sure that you've actually got all the right stuff enabled. I hate add-ons that do this. I wish they'd just merge it all into one, but it is what it is. Tally and thwack. Well, there's no tally there. And thwack's dead. Okay, well that was a lie. This seems to believe all of the rares are up. This could be fun.
There's loads of scrap ripe for the picking in the heaps. Go in there and grab some, will ya?
Oh, we're getting a couple of dudes on the same shard here. If you use the simple add-on manager, it makes it much easier to enable and disable groups of add-ons. I swapped out from one to another the other day. I can't remember what I swapped from and what I swapped to. I am, yes, using simple add-on manager now. But it does seem to put everything in one stinking great big list. I'm sure it's a settings thing, but I don't. You guys should know me by now. I'd like, if an add-on needs great amounts of configuration out the box, I'd rather just ignore it. The exceptions to the rule are things like Trade Skill Master, which basically don't work unless you configure them. This fucking song makes it sound like your speakers are broken. Slugger. Oh, I do actually need a slugger kill on this team. Let's take a slugger kill. Oh, that was relatively painless for once. Rumour has it Swigs is also up. Yoink. Look at the flood of cars turn up for Swigs. I wonder if people are killing this. K-Chak did some interesting... he's been tracking the amount of miscellaneous Mechanicas on the auction house. Or not the Mechanicas themselves, but like the equivalent number of miscellaneous Mechanicas based upon the items that are on there, the pets and the mounts and whatever. Both Team NA and Team EU increased by about 2,000 miscellaneous Mechanica, which was intriguing to me because Team NA is believed to be about 2/3 of the size of Team EU. Team EU has a lot more players, and so you would expect, or at least I would expect, a greater increase in the amount of Mechanica items available. But I also think what's starting to happen now is the prices are getting to a point, and they've, I wouldn't say stabilized, but some people are clearly making bank off buying cheap pets. Cheap. That, you know, we're still talking six figures here, but like cheap pets and mounts off the bigger servers, off people like myself who are farming them consistently, and then taking them to lower pop chart servers and reselling. Which was likely to always happen. Because in the last few days, I've had 2 of my pets, I think 2 pets and 2 mounts, sell to the exact same guy. Now, unless that's just a really avid collector that just wants to buy them all, and one that has more gold than sense, or it's somebody that's buying them off Draenor and then taking them other places. Speaking of simple add-on manager, can you check the average CPU and memory usage of it? It should be visible when you mouse over it in the add-on list. Well, basically nothing. What are you looking for here? Average CPU and memory usage. Average CPU is 0.06%. I don't have memory usage stats. Blizz must boost the drop rate at some point. No, I don't think so. I don't think they have any reason to. People have been stating this since day one, that they're too hard to get. And I don't think they're that hard to get at all. They're time consuming to get, but they're not hard. There's multiple different ways to get miscellaneous Mechanica. If people want them, people can go out and get them. It's time consuming, yes, but they're not hard. Come on, where's Tally? It's the last one I need on this flipping... Nitro's popping up again. Maybe we'll just skip Tally on this one. Go to the next team. You know, there's a lot of queuing about the miscellaneous Mechanicas because people are like, oh, I've been playing the entire patch and I've only got like 4 of them. Yeah, but have you actually tried to get any of them? And then they're like, well, no, not really. Well, then no shit, Sherlock. It's one of those scenarios where, if you know, you have to know the ways in which you can get them, and then you have to at least put some effort into going out and getting them, and then even after you've done all of that, maybe you can have a bit of a whinge and a moan about it, but people who 3 days into the patch were saying, they're too hard to get, they need to be boosted, just complaining. And at the end of the day, if you don't want to farm them, they're on the auction house. That's kind of the design principle of them. That's why they allowed us to trade them, so that if you don't want to farm them, somebody else will farm it for you, but be prepared to pay a bit of a premium for that person's time and effort. Seems pretty damn fair to me. Put some effort does not equal what you were doing. I usually agree with you, but on this take I don't. They're not, you can't deny though, they're not hard to get. The process in which you have to, the thing you have to do to get them is not hard. It doesn't require any particular skill. You have to get Renowned 13 and then drive around and open dumpsters. You have to kill a rare, or you have to collect market research and level up a rep. The 3 things that are required for you to get miscellaneous Mechanicas are not hard. They are, yes, time consuming. They are time consuming, especially if you're just ad hoc, passively trying to expect to get some by playing the zone. No, they are by design something that you're meant to put a bit of effort into getting. And you can put a bit of effort in, and you can get 4 or 5 in a few days. And you can buy your pet that you can then, get your pet that you really want or whatever. Not hard to get farming them with 5 accounts, 8 hours a day. You do see the irony, I hope. Well, no, not really, because it isn't very, there isn't the irony there. I'm putting the effort in to get more of them. This amount of time and effort is going in to not just get 5 of them to get your favorite pet or 25 of them to get your favorite mount. I'm doing this in order to get 40, 50, 60 of them a week. I'm trying to rapidly farm as many of them as I possibly can. But the process of getting them is not hard. It's just like, you don't have to, it's not like they're locked behind mythic raid bosses. They're not hard to get. What is this effort you speak of? I like the fact that there are sometimes, occasionally, something in the game that allows you to work towards it and isn't instantly given to people. Now, who knows? They might buff the drop rate. I don't see them doing it because of how calculated I think this farm is, fundamentally. Whoever decided that they drop from here, here, and here, and then put the initial drop rates in place for X, Y, and Z, had quite clearly done the maths and done the numbers on how people could get them. It wasn't. I don't think they were just thrown into the zone and then somebody later in the day realised, these are probably a lower rate than they should be. I tend to think they were very carefully calculated. Much like we were talking about this yesterday, Zereth Mortis with its protoform synthesis, I think it was called, pets and mounts. That was quite carefully calculated to how many Genesis motes you'd be able to get per, and then in how long it would take you to be able to get one of the pets or one of the mounts or something like that. Wouldn't be too surprising if it was the same person or team of persons who put that system together that has done the miscellaneous Mechanica one as well. The 1 account guys lose. One account. What? Yeah. I mean, I fundamentally spent the first 2, maybe 3 weeks of the expansion doing it on 1 account. It was arguably quite late in the day that I moved to a multi-account way of farming them. I was still able to get about 25 miscellaneous Mechanica every couple of weeks on a single account. But yeah, it was very time consuming, but I disagree with the concept that it is hard. It was just time consuming. Nitro. And this is where being able to use multiple accounts, multiplying your cost also comes at, exponentially reducing the amount of time you have to spend doing something. That's why this system works.
Pretty world-wise, ain't ya? I got a mook inspector that could use the help of someone with brains. Go talk to him?
It's already too late to expect a drop rate buff. There's absolutely loads of them already on the market though now. This is the thing. Have I ever played City of Heroes? Never. I don't think I've even heard of it, if I'm honest. I'm waiting for the Cardinals to call me and announce me as the new Pope. Pope Dipper. I could see Pope Dipper. Be better than Pope Trump anyway. Ah, that wasn't Swigs. Lied. I mean, in all honesty, it'd be like Christmas, though, even if they did buff the drop rate. It'd be like absolute Christmas, because at the moment, what you'll probably find is that with the time-consuming nature of getting them right now, it means that if you're a single account farmer for miscellaneous Mechanica, you are probably getting one, maybe, yeah, you're probably getting one miscellaneous Mechanica on average every 2 hours. Is about the rate in which you can expect to get them currently, which means, as it stands at the moment, you are very, very, very unlikely to see miscellaneous Mechanica go for a value of less than about 40 to 50k per item. So this means that a pet that costs 5 will probably have a rough floor price of about 250k. A mount that costs 25 will probably have a, what's the maths on that? I don't know, 1.5 million gold roughly, kind of where they are right now. Because that equates to that sort of 20k per hour farming rate, which makes it competitive for somebody that wants to do it to make a bit of gold. But there's also a fair few other options that person could do if they just want to make the gold as well. If they buffed the drop rate of Mechanicas now, that would allow people like myself with setups like this to get significantly more of them faster, meaning what would actually happen is we would hoover up an awful lot more of the market share of mounts and pets that are out there. Meaning it would actually push single farmer, single account characters out of the point of viability to farming them at all. It would then make the value per Mechanica so much lower, because multi-account farmers would be able to get so many more of them. You would probably find that it would push the value per Mechanica down to like 5,000-10,000 gold each if they buff the drop rate. And even if you could get a couple per hour, players like myself would end up with so many more of them that we would be able to basically flood the market significantly more effectively. It's basically +1, -1. It wouldn't really make all that much difference, buffing the drop rate, to be honest. So either way, if they do buff it, great, I'll make more gold and I'll make it faster. Oh, I didn't mean to log out. If they leave it as it is, it'll take me a little bit longer to farm them and to sell each item, but I'll still probably end up making the same amount of gold. Individuals that want to farm up 113 of them themselves to get everything themselves would have a slightly quicker path to do just that. But they would also probably see the price of them drop enough that they might even consider still not doing that and just buying them instead. So it's, in my opinion, it basically balances out. It doesn't really make a lot of difference. Why is Nitro never here when it says it's here? I need Nitro and I need Swigs, and it's not turning up on any of these realms. It's an MMO, super awesome, released earlier than WoW by a few months, but got overshadowed hard. City of Heroes. I don't know, I've literally never heard it. You want some more Pedro action? Some more Pedro on the go. Oh, hang on, I'm sat in a group. I'm not meant to be sat in a group. Easy to get recolors is Blizzard's usual break glass for emergency go-to. Well, yeah, see, this is the thing, right? The pets and the mounts, for the most part, aren't unique either. They are mostly recolors to begin with. But at the end of the day, it's not for me to say why somebody wants something. You know, blue might be their favorite color, and so they want the blue version of it, rather than they might actually care more for the model of it than they do the color of it. Or sorry, the other way around. They might care more for the color of it than they do the actual model. Right, at least we got a swig skill on this team, though. I probably would prefer a high-ish cost item to sell on many realms and faster, rather than a luxury item that has a lower group of people able to buy them. I think they will, short term at least. The trend we're seeing with the pricing of them is that they are still coming down in value. And I would imagine it's not going to be too long before we see the mounts at sub 1 million. And I think the pets are going to be sub 300k pretty consistently, pretty soon, because the prices are a lot more reasonable now than they were when the zone first came out. There's a lot more supply, so there's a lot more downward pressure on the price currently. But what we have also seen is should we call them the early adopters that must have all the new things the second they come out? That crew of people is probably starting to drain through and is probably starting to finish their collections, meaning that for whilst the Undermine is still the current content, I think we do still have some room to go down in price. Now, the very long-term approach is that as soon as everybody leaves, I still believe the 6-month, 9-month, 12-month scenario is that they will go back up in value, just because the supply of them will actually drain when everybody leaves the zone, and it's not the flavor of the month thing to do. I mean, I'm quite sure you'd see a sizable... If if me and K-Chak stopped streaming it every day for a month, and we just went dark with the farm completely, I'm pretty sure you would see the supply drop and the price rise pretty quickly. There's a lot of competition on farming and selling them right now because it's being heavily popularized. Now, I'm not saying me or K-Chak individually have like big enough audiences to make big swings, but there's definitely an effect. It sounds like a great idea. Yeah, if we just didn't do this, just didn't talk about Mechanicas ever again. I'm going to turn the tunes down now. I don't want to be shouting over the tunes. And this is in essence what will happen when everybody moves out of this zone and we go into 11.2 and beyond, right? When the focus is off the farm, many people will just straight up stop doing it. And at that point, the supply of the pets and the mounts will dry up pretty quickly, I think. Ah, Swigs is literally being killed in front of my eyes here. Damn. Apologise if it came out rude. I just really dislike the multi-box the life out of everything in this game. But as they say, blame the game, not the player. Oh no, it didn't come out as rude. I have absolutely no objection to people, you know, sharing their opinions. And I often am very aware that people will disagree with mine. It's It's not taken to heart, don't you worry.
You're pretty worldwise,
In
ain't
fact,
ya?
I would
I got
quite
a mookie
openly,
inspector that could use the help of
I
someone
would
with
push
brains.
for more people to share their opinions on stuff, and more than anything else, not be afraid to disagree with me, just because I'm the one sat behind the camera, you know. Oh, ding 72. Guys are leveling up at the same time. Don't worry, Matthias will ban you after stream. If you never see Chris 49 again, you know he crossed a line. Absolutely not. I disagree with Mr. Matthias not infrequently. Yeah, I know. People are more than welcome to opinions. I like it. It's it's good discussion. Discussions of yes, we agree, said by everybody in the room, were boring AF. Oh, absolutely. Tally on this realm. No, and I knew full well before I went deep into this that there are players out there that quite rightly have a natural distaste towards the multi-account playstyle. It's always been a thing in the game. And like I said, I don't totally disagree with that point of view. In that I don't think the benefits of having twice as many accounts should give you twice the advantage. There has to be some diminishing returns on that. Otherwise, players would just scale it infinitely. And in some scenarios, we have seen that in the past with things like BFA, where players were able to scale so aggressively with multi-accounts that it got to the point where Blizzard did feel the need to step in and go, whoa, let's calm down a little bit now. And if they, I mean, there are things that they could do to easily nuke this whole process if they wanted, but for whilst it is an option, and for whilst I enjoy doing it, I'm going to give it a go. Remember Farmer True with 32 accounts who was farming Najmir? There was a few guys that were like quite public about going ridiculous with the setups back in the day. Tag it to get loot would be an immediate nuke if they don't like it. Well, see, that even wouldn't particularly nuke it. It would just move the bar. It would just move the bar even further. It would mean that you wouldn't be able to do it on level 70s. You'd have to push all the way to 80. And then you'd actually have to do the whole old school multi-box of everybody /follows. And you all tag the mob and then one dude kill it. It wouldn't immediately nuke it. It would just move the bar. The quickest and easiest nuke would be to make the rares drop loot once per day warband wide, that would dead, the whole thing dead. At that point, though, that would also limit single account players from using alts to achieve the same thing. So at that point, then I do think that they'd have to maybe reconsider how they drop. Although that said, that still wouldn't change dumpster farming. It would probably shift the meta from killing lots of rares to dumpster farming. You could trail 5 accounts round and tag every single dumpster. I've actually considered testing that, because dumpsters, although they get a little bit of a sort of dismissal because the drop rate is sub 1% on dumpsters. When even a 1% drop rate on a dumpster, if you're hitting every dumpster 5 times, that's still a 5% drop rate on a dumpster across your 5 accounts, which is still not terrible. I think it would just move, like I said, it would just move the bar. It really annoys me waiting for the Swigs all the time, because I can't feasibly move on, because Swigs is the one that you absolutely got to kill. Taggable once per account would be a thing if they wouldn't profit from multi-boxes. Yeah, it's difficult, isn't it? Because the thing with any sort of multi-account play, and the thing that I tend to believe, this is a belief, which means it's an opinion, I believe the thing that is often overlooked significantly when the discussion comes up is the fact that I've bought 5 copies of the game. I'm also paying 5 monthly subscriptions to run this. I have chosen to exchange real world currency for a time saving, in essence. Yes, I can acquire items in the game potentially 5 times faster, but at 5 times the cost. Now, I know that gets into a new territory of like pay to win, but it's still a relatively strong counter argument. And I've chosen to value time significantly more. I only want to spend a couple of hours a day doing this. And in choosing to want to only spend a couple of hours a day, I've chosen to allow for the event, the activity, to cost me 5 times as much to engage in, but so that instead of spending 10 hours a day, I can spend 2 hours a day and achieve overall roughly the same thing. Because I've done it both ways. At the beginning of the expansion, I was doing it on a single account, and it was taking me 8 to 10 hours a day to rotate through all of my alts on my single account. And I decided that 8 to 10 hours a day was far too much like hard work, but I still wanted to achieve the same thing. And the way to achieve the same thing was to stack the accounts up instead. And Swigs is refusing to spawn. I'm actually going to start fishing just in case my rare scanner is not doing its thing properly. Sometimes the rare scanner needs a bit of a refresh. Three of these dudes are sat on the same shard though. That's half the flipping problem. Oh, Jesus. I didn't realise that was the case. Well, two of them are sat on the same shard at least. That's not helping. It's quite questionable because it affects other people, especially if somebody uses third-party programs to automate the process. An MMO is a competitive ground in the first place, and many people feel it's an unfair advantage, plus things are intertwined on multiple levels. Oh, I 100% agree. If people start, using third-party programs and automating it, then they have gone past the line. They've gone past the clever use of game mechanics. They've ventured into the world of cheating. When, yeah, you're cheating. Ban, easy. Get rid of. I would have that exact same opinion of anybody that crosses that line into the world of cheating. Just ban them. Get rid of them. We see this. We see similar things stated quite frequently. When people are looking at like, oh, can I use a my Razer keyboard macro to automate pressing a button, and then you have to kindly remind those people that no, just that's still automation. Like automation is against the TOS. Even using third-party software to do that sort of stuff is against the TOS. You got to squish that real fast. People are desperate to get as close to the line as possible, and because of what was mentioned, it's a competitive environment. MMOs. Anytime you're playing with and especially against other people, the competitive nature can overtake people. Right, Swigs is just refusing to spawn. Absolutely 100% refusing to spawn. I'm unfortunately going to do something I shouldn't do, which is skip Swigs, because it's taken far too long on those realms, and I've still got a few more to do. I was hoping to keep this whole process of 18 teams under 2 hours. It's not quite going to be the case, which does definitely teach me something, that if we move to 25, it's going to take me in excess of 2 hours to do all 25 teams, unless I am more willing to do 3 out of the 4 and then drop the 4th. That would be the only way to get it under the 2 hour mark, I reckon. Tally, thwack, we'll go tally. Wait, flipping Swigs was up on my home realm. Are you taking the piss? I swear I saw Swigs there a second ago. Maybe I dreamt it. Oh, now I don't know which realm I'd flip in. Oh, God, now I've lost it. Now I lost it. Was it you lot? No. No, I lost it. Damn. Wasn't paying attention. It doesn't show on the minimap. Just drop the Draenor teams, put them to work with concentration instead. Oh, the Draenor teams have been converted. I don't have any full Draenor teams anymore. They've all been shuffled about. I've got 18 relatively optimized teams now, where we've got 3 sat on the same flipping shard here, though, even though they're on different realms. Bloodhoof, Alonsus, and Nordrasil have all sharded into the same shard. That's annoying. That's probably because that's like 3 normal English realms. That's a slight problem. But we're getting to the bottom of the tree now. Somebody didn't do their cross zone realms homework. I haven't fully optimized the teams yet. I've still been working on leveling a character on all of the different servers. Once we've got a few more, we can optimize it a bit more. Not that I think that this makes any real difference, but the shard IDs are very close on all of these as well. Yeah, it's clearly as we get towards the bottom of the list where my teams are less optimized. It's definitely taking that little bit longer per team. But then these can end up being the teams that are more focused on doing like concentration crafting or cross-realm flipping or something. If there's more downtime between killing the rares, then I can fill that downtime with doing other stuff more easily. Or the guaranteed way to make every single one of them spawn is to do this. Go on. Usually that spawns about 15 rares. No, it didn't work. It was a good try. Maybe I'll take a quick break for 2 minutes either way. Back in 2. No way, I stepped away from the keyboard for 2 minutes, come back and there's still nothing spawning. What is going on? What is going on? Clearly the game's against me. Slugger is the one that has spawned. Great, excellent, love that. Just what we needed. We're unlikely to get a tally kill. But literally any of the others would be wonderful about now game. Swigs Prio. Anybody in the guild? Anybody with tailoring in the guild? Somebody's looking for some consecrated slippers. If you can grab them. I'm not sure my tailor has the ability to craft those.
Go in there and grab some, will ya? You're pretty
Nitro.
picket in the heaps. Go in
I
there
could
and
probably
grab
do it if
some,
it's
will ya?
Draenor. Yeah. It's what I don't know if they're on Draenor.
I got a mook inspector that could use the help of someone with brains. Go talk to him?
I and half the guild live on Draenor, but it doesn't necessarily mean that the orders come from somebody on Draenor. They have just gone offline though. Oh, they're on Taran Mill. Now it's only showing 2 of them sat on the same shard. Interesting. Why is it? It's bumped some of them around weirdly. Oh, tally's up on this realm. This zone is still clearly quite busy though, because I have noticed characters that live on the bigger of the realms will still often have multiple different shards attached to that one realm. So there's still a pretty hectic amount of players in the zone in total. Do we need swigs? Wow, it's actually... well, yeah, I do need a swig skill. Let's go. And then I just need thwack. Nice. I mean, curiosity. Is thwack up on this realm? It doesn't look like it, but we've had 2 out of the 3. Negative. Oh, well that's convenient. Okay, is that everybody? Nitro, swigs, tally, thwack, yes. Move on. 2 more. Go on. Somebody give me a god shard. We're owed a god shard. We've not had one for a while. After how many weeks spending proper time in the Undermine, do you stop being totally shy at the carts? I don't think ever. I'm still bumping and bashing into things all the time. I think that's going to just be a forever problem. I do wonder, you know, if they are going to take this drive system further afield, or whether they will just keep it as a thing for this zone. I can't help but feel that it must have taken a lot of time and effort to develop it for them to only keep it in this zone, you know? Now, I know Blizzard has stated quite clearly in the past that they will often design things with a shelf life deliberately, but I still think this Mario Kart drive system has room to grow into other areas of the game. I still think it's the biggest, the biggest shame that they implemented this drive system in this zone. I still contest with the fact that this zone is just too small for it. Way, way, way too small for it. To add a Mario Kart style system. I think it would be, if you gave players a much bigger, wider, more open zone to play with, I think it'd feel much better. I mean, you know, when you look at zones like, I don't know, Desolus, for example, zipping round the outskirts of Desolus would be more interesting in your go-kart. Old school Thousand Needles would have been really cool. I mean, you literally, before it flooded, obviously. There's plenty of zones where I think, you know, zipping around Durotar, doing laps around Durotar. There's loads of places that you could state would be like good to zip around in. Hang on, Swigs is up. Focus. They could even like really lean into the fact that you got this super fast ground mount without the ability to fly. It might give them the ability to make a really big map. I don't know what the technical limitations of that is really, because I think they said that the Dragon Isles was the single largest zone that they've ever created. But if they really lent into the drive system and created a map that made sense for it, I'm pretty sure it'd be pretty fun. Got to go real life again. Chalita, thanks for stopping by. Enjoy the rest of your day. Does get better over time, though. I mean, I still find that I'm popping keybinds in other zones to use my car, and then my car isn't there, and I'm like, oh shit, I got fly again. What? But that's just muscle memory, isn't it? Like once you use something day in, day out in one zone, it just becomes what you know. Right, we're waiting on Nitro again, apparently. 22 minutes ago it spawned on this shard. Should we check this realm just in case? No, he's not there still, is he? Pretty sure they said in an interview it wouldn't go further as it only fits the theme for the zone. Maybe. Oh, you've made yourself a macro too. A mobility macro. That's quite clever. Right, we're not getting Nitro, are we? This might be another one where we pass and move on. We can skip a Nitro. Let's do the last team. So, assuming this last team doesn't take more than a few minutes, we've plus or minus a couple of breaks and a five-minute starting stream thing. We're looking at about 2 hours to do the full Swigs Nitro Thwack tally. Hello. Give me that server, please. We're looking about 2 hours for full sweep. And much like what I usually state, is that when I'm streaming, I do everything slow. So I think that there's possibly even room to squeeze out a little bit more there. Now what I could be doing is adding more to the plate, not taking stuff off, by increasing the amount of teams. But I could also add some potential concentration crafts, add some potential auction house scans and market flippity doodah stuff to each of these tunes as well, which would probably double the amount of time, but would give us concentration craft money on 100 accounts, plus also cross-realm arbitrage money, which is something that you scale up over time anyway. This could end up being like 4 hours a day, like 20 million gold a month. If coordinated well. Sold the rich purple silk shirt pattern for 560k. Yeah, I saw that. That's impressive, my friend. That's one of those recipes that it is often the last recipe that somebody has to get to like complete their tailor. And so hence why there's got to be somebody out there somewhere that will pay silly money for something like that. Good sale though. Rich enough to buy the last warband tab, just don't know if it's worth it or not. Oh, I wouldn't buy the last warband tab until you've got at least 30 million. Wouldn't even consider it. Wouldn't even consider it. I've not bought the last tab. Right, there we go. So, I started this stream 2.5 hours ago and we've done the complete sweep. With a bit of optimization, we can get that to below 2 hours. Throw some concentration crafting on each of these tunes. Throw some cross-realm flipping on each of these tunes. This could quite easily be the start of some sizable growth to the gold numbers. Yeah, 2.5 mil for the last tab. It's actually bananas. Silly money for a single bank tab. If they allowed you to use the war bank on multiple accounts at the same time, then I'd buy it in a heartbeat. Because then it would really have very, very strong use for me. I'm actually, considering how little crafting I do these days, based on, well, a multitude of factors really, but fundamentally based upon the fact that I don't particularly like fighting over single-digit margins. If there was if there was like 20% margin in something, I'd probably put more time and effort into doing it. But the rest of the world seems to be far more content with squeezing lesser margins out of stuff. And so hence why I don't do much crafting at the moment.
I have many lucky doos you like.
But also because crafting has gone very much into the route of where you have to stand there AFK crafting shit for hours, which when I was predominantly playing one account locks that account in doing just that for like ages. Whereas with bonus accounts that can be doing stuff passively in the background, I can kind of basically make that time spent disappear. Which is clearly something that now that we're more proactively using the other accounts and that they are self-sufficient in paying for themselves, there's more options to do. I need to do some delves this week, actually. I don't think I've done my 11s this week. I don't think I've done a delve this week. That's something we should probably do. Take me to a delve. Let's bang out a quick 11. Oh. Flipping hell. I used my 1 hour cooldown toy and it took me from here and put me here. I could have done that myself, game. Thanks for that. I guess random is random. I wonder if I have a thing to summon the big dude. What's it called? A wave something or other, isn't it? I think I've run out of these, you know. Maybe we just raw dog it and hope that he spawns anyway. It's also Bran week, isn't it? A Bran week. Delve week. I know what I'm talking about, honestly.
Look around. There's treasure here.
Right, let's see if I can remember how we do these. The game's like you're welcome. Yeah. Yeah, thanks for giving me a loading screen to go 10 yards. Love that. I just got the Dark Fuge Spy Eye mount and Mechanica from the Dark Fuge rare. Yeah, the Dark Fuge dude has one of the highest drop chances for Mechanica. It's like a 6% drop chance or something. GG on your mount though, by the way. It's a cool one. Still a lot of people trying to grind that one out. It's the Gold Ellie story. It's the easiest story in that delve. Oh, this is the one where there isn't really a rare. Sorry, a boss. Yes. Oh. Well. That sounds... Oh. No? I thought Big Dude was turning up then.
Hang in there.
Pet do pet things, hello? Flipping the camera in this place is going bananas. Too many pipes and things in the way. Maybe it's just coincidence, but last week I had many difficulty finding the map in the chests. Well, here's my bounty map then. Speak of the devil. This would not have been the place I would have chosen to spawn in, but if he's going to just turn up, he's going to just turn up, isn't he? Right, focus time for a minute so I don't get my ass killed. Right, brand new brand things. Oh my gold, oh my gold, oh my gold. Pet, stay alive. That's not pet stay alive, is it? Oh dear, this is dangerous. This is real dangerous.
People always messing around on my perfectly legal deeded land.
Flipping hell. Really not the place I'd have chosen to spawn him. But beggars can't be choosers.
Here's your take of the spoils.
Use the map. Best one to use the map in as well. Streamer privileges.
Fantastic.
This luck is unbelievable. Didn't have a wave shredder to spawn it anyway. Spawns naturally in the best one because there's no. I can use blow all my cooldowns and not worry because there's no boss in it. Yeah, that is absolutely 100% streamer privilege. I'm sorry. Oh, you can kick the bombs? Oh, okay. I didn't even know. I've never kicked them. I've just moved out of the way. What I was saying, feels like they touched something about that. This week an instant drop. Maybe it's because it's Delve week. Maybe it is a button that's a knob that has been pressed somewhere. Delve week gives you an instant boss kill.
Look around. There's treasure here.
I got mine on my first Delve this week. Okay. We're already starting to see a pattern here, aren't we? Maybe it is because it's, like I said, maybe it is because it's Delve week. Maybe he has an increased chance of spawning naturally because it's Delve week. Does it say anything? Delver's Journey increased by 25%, Companion XP by 25%, Undercoins by 25%. Doesn't say anything, but... speaking of the map, never, and I mean never, leave the map in the chest. It does not get mailed to you. Oh, okay, that's interesting to know. I don't know why I would have ever done that. Full inventory is probably a way somebody might do that. I'm guessing I'm guessing that's from experience. I don't know if there's any other way you'd know that without it happening to you. If so, Ripperoni.
Old Bram's got your back.
It's a painful lesson, but it's a lesson none the same. Ended with a ticket to the GMs where I told them no support equals no bug report. Yeah, it's kind of yeah, I can see that being frustrating when you're like, I don't think this is meant to be the case. And then they're like, yeah, sorry, we're not helping you. In similar but different news, didn't the final verdict of the FTC versus Microsoft's acquisition finalize yesterday? Meaning that the deal is done, totally done now, I believe. Microsoft now have, you know, no roadblock in their way of doing whatever it is they want to do with Activision Blizzard. And everything that comes with Activision Blizzard, of course, as well. Which might indicate, not that I really think that Microsoft were particularly holding back with any plans anyway. Certainly didn't feel as if they were. But it might mean now that they're not being sued for market monopolies, that we might start to see in the next few months some bigger announcements around the long-term plan for Activision Blizzard, with Microsoft fully at the helm now. I mean, we've already seen in the last couple of months more and more games hitting Battle.net. With what have we got now? We've seen Avowed, Doom. Doom actually comes out next week. Avowed, Doom, Tony Hawk's Pro Skater, Sea of Thieves. We've already started to see a bunch of. There's probably more I'm forgetting, but we're seeing more cross-pollination already. With the push from Blizzard themselves to a more add-on integrated retail client, I would also not be overly surprised if we start to see either Game Pass integration or even console integration. I don't think it would be for midnight, but ow, fucking ow. Jesus, what were those? I just got ripped a new one by something in that pack. Probably a bomb or something went off. I wasn't paying attention. I am very much of the opinion now that Game Pass integration is almost inevitable. Almost such as I would not be overly surprised to see Battle.net being slowly integrated to basically just be Game Pass. Because the Battle.net as a platform sells games. And it sells games at full price. It's one thing it does better than even Steam does. It's selling games at full price.
That's more like it. Nothing old Bran can't get through.
And either way, it sells games. I'm pretty sure. Now, this obviously could be just an early adoption thing, but I'm pretty sure Doom, Tony Hawk's, Avowed, all of these are being probably very, very carefully monitored and tracked to what sort of success rate and what sort of cross-pollination there is from World of Warcraft players and Diablo players and Overwatch players into those games.
Fantastic.
Now that we see them not getting sued for market monopolies, we may see them establishing some market monopolies over the next few months Yeah. Yeah, once the lawyers are off their back, we might see them stretch their wings a little bit. It'll be interesting to see. I want WoW to stay away from consoles. I want WoW to have as many players as humanly possible. And if that means going onto consoles, so be it. Trinket, Amorphous Relic. I don't necessarily have any objections to that.
Nice. Now I'm making
But
progress.
I would be lying if I said I don't have some financial interest in that happening. I don't think that's too clear or unclear or obvious a statement to make.
Look around.
There is no questions in my eyes that full steam ahead with things like flipping one-button macros in the game is a step in the direction of just mash X to play World of Warcraft. Like it's not that far-fetched of a leap to make. I think to see significantly easier adoption without the need of add-ons to the game, conveniently at the same time.
The scum will fight back.
You know, the one of the two biggest console companies taking the reins. You know, that like you'd almost be foolish to deny that situation. I've got two of these flipping things now. I didn't use it at 639, so why am I going to use it at 649 on the hero track? Is this thing actually any good for BM hunters? I don't even know. I hate trinkets in this game so much. Most of the time you can look at a piece of gear and go, yep, that's an upgrade, or no, that's not an upgrade. Trinkets? Fucking no clue. No clue. Biscuit. Trinkets. Amorphic relic thing. Absolute F tier. I thought it was. Absolute F tier. I'm collecting F tier trinkets, by the way. The Amorphous Relic, Blastmaster 3000 was in my vault the other day, and the Noggin Fogger I think I've had about 4 times. I'm collecting F tier trinkets. Oh well. Okay, that was a dead map then. That's annoying. More people, more life to the economy. It's yeah, I mean, it's a game with more players in is better than a game with less players in. It seems like a simple concept. Now, obviously, like I said, it's not rocket science to see that I'm somewhat financially interested in more players playing this game, because I live stream, I have a YouTube channel, I have a Patreon. These are all things that the more people that play this game, the greater the chance there is of somebody stumbling across me and my content, and that being of financial benefit to me. But I still genuinely think, excluding that mindset of that more people playing the game just has to be better, right? And if it means putting it on console, then so be it. WoW as a mobile game is nuts. You could play from everywhere. I mean, I don't think it's quite to the degree where it's like mobile friendly, but Game Pass integration, opening the game into a monster of a market already, the amount of people that have Game Pass. And I think we've already seen, I mean, if you open Game Pass here, I think you'll already see that they've tried and tested this already a little bit, haven't they? And they'll have data for this. Tony Hawk's Pro Skater is apparently coming to Game Pass by the looks of things, which is on Battle.net right now. So they will have seen what the adoption is of this on Battle.net. They will also then be able to see I think what is it? Diablo's on here somewhere as well now, isn't it? I'm pretty sure Diablo's in here. I'm almost certain I saw Diablo in here somewhere. Yeah, well, Diablo 3 Reaper of Souls, even. If not even Diablo 4. They will clearly start to merge these two. I'm almost convinced of it. That Battle.net will slowly but surely integrate with Game Pass until it becomes a point where there is no benefit for Microsoft to run both of them side by side. The more crossovers we see, the more we see games appearing on both these platforms, the sooner the reality will be that they'll just smush the two together. I could do with doing a couple more delves. Which ones are the least gross ones to do? Waterworks. Where else we got? We got Waterworks. Where's our delve in the Isle of Dawn? Do we not have one up there today? Sinkhole. That's pretty stinky, isn't it? Why can I only see 2 on the map? Oh. Spiral Weave. Doesn't really matter which one we do, does it? Either way. Oh wait, hang on. On the phone. I haven't even completed my checklist on my main this week. Oh, I've not even completed my checklist this week. This means I've killed about 1 billion rares and I won't have got any bonus checklists. Oh, you absolute donkey. This is why you do this on a Wednesday. War mode, fishing, catch pets, excavation site 9, or 2 races. Oh, I just got to do 2 races. Give me some world quests. There's one up top.
We need these jetpacks tested. Grab one and get in the air. Let me know how it handles.
Sold my last battered hilt. I am absolutely baffled that those things still sell, by the way. Totally baffled that those things still sell. How flipping... I mean, it must just be that it's epic, right? I mean, I know there's an achievement linked to it, but there really can't be that many people who are so achievement hunting that they'll spend however much on the battered hilt. There's got to be something else to it that I'm missing. There's no way after flipping 15 years those things are still selling.
You made it. Any injuries? No? Too bad.
I need another race. There's got to be a second World Quest race. There it is. Breakneck Racing.
Dim lighting and absolutely no airflow. Perfect day for a race.
Don't question why they just sell. Oh, of course. I'm the first one to push that theory. It's just still very surprising that it's a weirdly steady seller after when I mean that was Wrath of the Lich King, right? It was one of the 3 bonus dungeons in Wrath of the Lich King. So that is literally 15 years ago at this point. Annoyingly to me as a content creator, my video talking about farming the battered hilt is to this day still my most ever viewed video. Something like 300k views or something.
This propaganda's not gonna spread itself. Go deliver some newspapers, why don't you?
Right, let's go turn my checklist in.
what you need. Come back for more.
I don't even think, you know, I've done the flipping... I'm not even convinced I've done the flipping side quests and everything this week. Where's me button gone? Where's me add-on button gone? What's the add-on I'm looking for? Begins with M. Minimap button reborn. Why is this button not showing? It seems to disagree with sexy map. Yeah, it seems to disagree with my sexy map add-on. I started using the square map from Leatrix instead, saves an add-on. Oh, I didn't even know that was a thing. I have Leatrix installed as well. I've noticed actually, even on my bonus accounts, Sexy Map does cause issues with some other add-ons, which I'd rather it didn't. No, I've not done my side gigs this week. Well, that's something to get sorted. That will actually hit Exalted with Adventure Co as well, actually, I believe. If my math is mathing. If we bang these out.
Hurry back.
Smooth sailing.
Is that yours? Yeah. It's my problem. Next time. Yeah? How you doing, pal?
Seven mogs in total. What, from the Battered Hilt thing? I'm sure, I mean, like I said, it's not that I don't know why the Battered Hilt is a thing. The bigger thing to me is that after 15 years, I'm so surprised that it's still relatively at the forefront of people's minds. At least enough for it to sell pretty consistently and to still be farmed pretty consistently. Why do none of these crabs... Why is there no crabs at home? Still don't get why people buy the old bags for silly money. Oh, yeah, like the Hexweave bags. Yeah, they're purple, aren't they? Epic is better than not epic, even if it's weirdly smaller. Odd as that sounds, I think it's realistically got to be the only reason. Surely an epic bag is better than a rare bag, right? One of the mysteries of WoW, exactly. Not so much a mystery of WoW, but categorical evidence that you can never apply logic to people's buying reasoning. As soon as you start thinking with logic, No, you're doing it wrong. You're doing it all wrong. People aren't buying things using logic, no. People are buying things because they're available to sell, seemingly. And if you make something available to sell, somebody out there will buy it. And I'm sure if you did an experiment with posting 100 grey items every day for 100 days, you'd see that for yourself. That just because apparently something should absolutely categorically not sell doesn't mean it won't. Kaja crab taming go. Yeah, I kind of like these crabs. I don't think I'm still quite happy using my my fancy cocks, but the pigeon, the crabs are pretty cool. People seem to just know the name of the bag from years ago and keep buying it. Maybe. Maybe. One down. What are we doing in here? Support beams. The one on the platform, it's a unique model. Oh. Then I don't know what you mean. The irony, I've played a hunter for many years and also collect a lot of stuff, but actually hunter pets is not actually something I've ever really bothered to collect. I had a phase 10 years ago where I wanted to collect all of the spirit beasts and spent a bunch of time farming up all of those. But outside of that, I've never really collected many hunter pets. Do you have to kill you for any reason? Not right now. Only works in WoW for some reason. I do not know. Maybe it's just about the pure numbers of players, but I've never seen people buying smaller bags for higher prices in another game. Or anything for that matter. Safe to say the WoW player base is weirdly unique. Like I said, as soon as you start assuming things are happening for logical reasons, you're doing it wrong. Logic is a skill that seems to bypass a lot of WoW players. Oh, wow, that's true. A lot of people in general, I suppose. Who would have thought a basic function of staying alive can bypass people so easily these days? Quickly click all 5 Kazumite chunks to receive Kazumite and allow you to tame George. Oh. Interesting. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 apparently. So what do these chunks look like? Are these things? Kazumite chunk. Should we put our cock away? Energized. What? Why can't I mount? Hello? What do you mean ground mounts are not allowed here? Oh. That's why. Okay. Right, let's try that again. Make sure you have space. I'm going to assume I have space. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, we got space. One. 2. 3. That was meant to be 4. I've missed one. I've missed one. Oh, what? Why did it feign death and it not feign death? Four. I ain't never going to get the last one, am I? I balls this up. I don't even know where the last one... Maybe I should find out where they all are first. Then the last one is there, look. Okay. Right, let's get you out first. So, there's the 5th one. Does this fella need to be... So we get to tame this big dude. George Jr.
At your service.
Can't believe it. Look what's gone and happened to George. My poor sweet little guy. Never done nothing wrong in his whole life. He ain't just any giant crab. He's my giant crab. The Dark Fuse turned on the other cartels. They've been forced into do their dirty work here. George got into the Kazumite and murdered them before they could get to us. George is a hero, but now he's gone crazy and is attacking everybody who gets close to him. You got to stop him. I don't have the heart to do it myself.
Off with you then.
Okay, interesting. Right, 1, 2, 3. Right, let's try this again. To the right, to the left, to the right, straight on. Where's the one to the right? Where's the one down here? So that one. We go, and then we run across. And we go get that one. And then we run down there, and then we run down there. Okay, there's our path. Right, go. 1. 2. It should be pretty easy because I've got Trailblazer on. 3. If we get slightly short on time, we can use our aspect of the cheetah. Doesn't look like it's going to be too problematic. 4. Let's use it anyway just to be safe. 5. Now what do we do? Yay! We got ourselves a George pet. There he is. He is quite crabby, isn't he? Too bad he shrunk. If he stayed that size, that'd be really cool. That'd be really cool. What do I think about the bull terrier? I'm confused. What? Oh wait, it's because Blizzard showed that they can mount that weapon on the wall when they introduce player housing. I know you wrote that like an hour ago, but okay. Maybe that's a Battered Hill Easter egg. Best you can do is use the glyph for the bigger pets. Hey, he's cool though. Got Krabby Boy. Can we show George to you now?
Fair weather.
This is where Blizzard needs to do better, because if you bring this if you bring George to this dude, he should say something different.
Hurry back.
This is what sometimes makes the game feel like it's still 2006. That you know, something should happen here. Like, oh, George, you know, something should happen here. I know I'm being picky. It's cool that you can get a cool little crab pet, but even just a little thanks for getting... Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Doesn't have to be anything crazy. Just, you know, make the world feel dynamic and alive.
What brings ya? Fair weather. Off with you then. Fair weather. Off with you then.
Smooth sailing.
You looking for trouble? Watch your step.
Right, now we got them done. We are 700 rep away from Venture Company, tippity top. If I do, what's this? Renown with the cartels of Undermine. I'm pretty sure
In town. I'll be
give me one of
waiting.
you anyway. My bags are a bit of a mess, aren't they? My bags are a bit of a mess. We need to fix this.
Well.
Anything that's 610 can go in the bin. Because I can't even be... These days, I cannot even be bothered sending it to get disenchanted. It's just not worth. Sack it all off. What's this? A swarming sack in the bin. 600 item level gear is meant to be sold, but not the deep delve dweller stuff. That's worth basically nothing. Although, weirdly, they're a semi-unique appearance, other than a grey item, so maybe we just delete them anyway. Don't want that. Flipping hell did that come from? 610 in the bin. All this gold-plated stuff, I need to sell it. 603, Shimmer Thread Robe. Okay, that hasn't really done much to alleviate the problem, has it? Let me now send over anything that's not nailed down. One, there's another 610. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. That's probably the lot, isn't it? Stupid 610s that I somehow missed. Oh no, flipping hell. There's always one.
What's the damage?
Oh, it's another flipping. Ah, oh, jeez Louise. What are you? Duskweave bag. Where did I get that from? Wait, why can't I... Why is that soulbound? The hell? How have I... Go away. Okay. What are you? Go-Go Juice. See you later. Random ass bag. So much random ass gear that I don't really need and should actually probably just vendor, but I can't be bothered to deal with it all right now. Right, that's slightly neater, albeit still not very neat. Okay. What was I doing? What was I doing? Still got more delves to do. What does this get us? What's the Corn to Delves get us? A 636 piece of gear? Okay, also not really interested in that. Not bothered. It will happen naturally, accidentally, but otherwise not particularly bothered. Got 20 teams up and running, and I don't really think I want more. Feel I'd burn out. Yeah, well, I've got 18. I've got 18 up and running, and I'm kind of seeing 18 as being my comfortable upper limit. I think I can get 18 below 2 hours if I'm somewhat focused on it. Or 2.5 hours if I'm somewhat not focused on it. Plus or minus a little bit of RNG. My shooting for 25 was mostly so that I can then cover every single server in the EU. I am... How many realms do I not have a character on right now? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I've got 11, which is what, 3 teams? 18, 19, 20, 21. 21 teams. 21 teams could cover every realm in the EU, excluding the Russian ones, which is probably where I will sit. 21 teams. The only other thing I'm thinking is the lead, whether it's worth to prep some 80s there for gear upgrades in Season 3. I don't know what you mean. Oh, teams of 5 instead of 4. Not just killing on your main. Yeah. Well, I've kind of accidentally got that already. I've got 13 characters 13 level 80s that I'm actually also comfortable killing those rares on as well. I think it's 13. Hang on, let's log out in the building. How many level 80s have I got on this server that are Undermine ready and Undermine experienced? So yes, actually, killing everything on my one main character, I could turn half of the teams into teams of 5 instead. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. I've got 13 characters at level 80 that are Undermine ready. That are capable of killing those 4 rares as well. So yeah, I could rotate 13 teams of 5 and then the rest teams of 4. And I've got plenty enough characters to get 280 to basically make 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. I've actually got more than enough characters that if I got them all to level 80 and all Undermine ready, it would actually be 21 teams of 5 instead of 4, which is a 25% increase to the Mechanica, technically, by that point. Going from 4 up until 5 is a 25% increase. Aren't realms grouped in some other way than just their connected realms for sharing a phase? So you don't need tunes on all realms. What I've got and what I've been using... let me just block this out for a second. What I have and what I've been using is a sheet that has every realm and what realms they are connected to in a big old list, and then which of my characters is on that list is connected to that. So as long as I have 1 green on any of the interconnected realms, and I'm slowly but surely getting a character at level 70 plus on all of these realms, excluding the Russian ones. And I've also started noting only recently what the type of server it is, which will mean that I can rearrange my teams a little bit more to make sure that there's no overlaps or crossovers. But from a cross-realm auction house flippy, as long as I've got 1 character on every single one of these rows, we're good to go. You can kite 2 of the rares to the guards to kill them. Maybe. I don't know. I don't know what you're referencing, but yeah, maybe. But okay. I realistically need to make 3 more teams and level 3 more teams so that I have a level 70 on every realm. Then that should be about ready to consider getting some of the 70s to 80s at some point. It's not a super high criteria for me to get them to 80, because killing rares, they do passively start to get there anyway. Now, I know once you get past, I think it's past 74, I think it's past level 74, the XP gains get a bit gross. But I'm sure going from 74 to 80 or so, or mid 70s up until 80 is a half an hour job per team. You have a panda girl. I'm sure Drizzling Rose approves. My one and only Pandarian, I think. Yeah, Rocket Chick. This character, for reference, the reason this character still exists is because she has alchemy and she has the Vial of the Sands recipe, meaning she always gets dragged through each expansion, at least at some point, by proxy of having 10 expansions worth of alchemy skill, I think. I don't think she has Dragonflight or War Within alchemy, but I think she has pretty much everything prior to that. So she might get some more playtime when player housing becomes a thing. Alchemy. Yeah. This is my old school alchemist that was tippity top in every expansion. And like I said, more than anything else, important because of this one recipe. Well, my claim to fame is I got this out of my first canopic jar, so yeah. Hence why I hit the jackpot and I'm like, right, well, this character's having alchemy for the rest of existence. My question was more about the killing of the rares. There was a sheet in TSM's Discord which shows realms that share phases, and there were a lot less than 81 realms. There are some that even are not connected, will occasionally share layers, yes. But I think it's a little bit... There are ways and means you can forcibly make sure that the characters never interconnect. For example, RP servers will never merge with non-RP servers. Unless you are specifically grouping those characters together for a purpose. RP realms will never naturally get sharded in with normal realms, and vice versa. Different languages are usually segregated, so English realms will only get merged with other English realms. This is the sheet he's referring to, by the way. Oh, okay, right, yeah. Yeah, so it's sort of showcasing that any realm in this, in that bucket per se, has the chance of sharding with somebody else. English PvE 1, PvE 2, PvP 1, PvP 2. Do those buckets still exist? Are they still accurate in any way? Since it's long been that they've not they've all been categorized as normal realms, but it's not up to date. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. This feels like it's probably not very up to date. But the concept of this is reasonably correct in terms of that, RP realms won't merge with other I'm mostly living by the theory at the moment that as long as 3 out of the 5 are on different realms, it's kind of fine. I can if any of my teams have got 4 characters on the same realm, it's something I need to deal with, and I will shuffle things around to make that not happen. But as long as 3, 4 of them are on separate realms, it's fine. It's fine. It doesn't affect the ability to do what it does very well. Anyway, boys and girls, I'm going to leave it there for today. A little bit of a shorter stream today, I know. But I'm going to leave it there for today. Tomorrow is Friday. There's a strong possibility we'll be doing something different tomorrow, as I like to sort of mix it up a bit on Friday. I'm going to use this opportunity to state, is he live yet? I don't know when he's going live. K-Chak's got his big giveaway stream today. He's also at some point going to be sat on the front page. So he'll have hugely greater viewership today than he would do normally. So it's a good day to go and lurk. Get your tickets in. I think he's given away about 10 million gold today. Now, if he was live, I'd send you all over there naturally, but he's not. So you'll have to head over to K-Chak's stream later today. There's a good chance he's going live in like 7 minutes or something. But Hello Kitty World Adventure stream. Probably not Hello Kitty World Adventure, no, but we might mix it up a little bit tomorrow for Friday. But either way, thank you very much for sticking around today. Go lurk in K-Chak's stream later today. Try and win yourself some gold. He's got a few mini events on the go. So it'll be a good place to lurk later today. Like I said, I can't raid into it because he's not live. But as and when he does, go say hi. Enjoy the rest of your day, boys and girls. I'll see you all tomorrow. Come say hi on the Discord. And thank you for all the button presses and sitting through any ads. I greatly appreciate it. Thank you. See you all tomorrow. Peace.